While Elon's burning billions trying to make electric cars work, while we're still slaves to gas stations and charging cables, there was a civilization that solved this problem 800,000 years ago. And their solution was so insane, so elegant, so powerful, that it literally destroyed them. I'm talking about flying vehicles, powered by seeds, not metaphorically, not symbolically. They would take a pile of grain and convert its life force into propulsion energy that made machines float through the air. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly how they did it, and why we can't.
Hello and welcome to Ride the Beast Within. Thank you for being here. This channel is dedicated to sharing spiritual practices and wisdom gathered from over 40 years of personal research and experience. Remember this: refuse to simply believe, because belief without practice leads to illusion. Test it, practice it. That is the true key to heaven.
This is Atlantis. But not the Atlantis you think you know. Not the schoolbook myth. This is the real story. A historical chronicle called The Rise and Fall of Atlantis describes their technology with the precision of an engineering manual. Mechanisms, energy conversion processes, physical limitations based on atmospheric conditions. This isn't vague crystal power nonsense. This is technical. And here's the wild part. The document was written before we even understood bioelectric fields, germinal energy, or thermodynamics, yet it describes all of them. So let's break down what they actually built. Think about a seed, any seed, an acorn, a kernel of corn. Inside that tiny package is explosive potential energy. You plant it, water it, and suddenly you've got a tree, a stalk, life erupting out of nothing. That energy is real, it's measurable. Scientists call it germinal energy. We wait for nature to unlock it. But the Atlanteans didn't wait. They built mechanisms that could extract and convert germinal energy directly. They would burn plant seeds the same way we burn coal. But instead of heat, they harvested pure life force. One kernel of corn can grow a stalk 8 feet tall. That's insane energy density. And they tapped it on demand. So what did they do with this power? They built vehicles. Not cars, not planes, something in between. Devices that floated a short distance above the ground, 3 to 10 feet, cruising over terrain, with steering systems that could rise above mountain ranges. And here's the kicker. The technology only worked because of the atmosphere at the time. The Earth's air was denser, the water was thinner, conditions completely different from today. That's not mythology, that's physics. It shows whoever wrote this knew that technology depends on environment. That's how real engineers think. So why don't we have seed-powered hovercrafts today? 3 reasons. 1. We don't understand life force energy. Modern science can measure electrical impulses and chemical reactions in seeds, but we can't access the raw power directly. We don't have the mechanism. 2. The Earth itself has changed. Our atmosphere is thinner, our water denser. Even if we found an Atlantean craft buried tomorrow, it wouldn't work in our conditions. And 3, they lost the knowledge for a reason, because this power wasn't neutral. The same force that made vehicles float could manipulate life itself. The Chronicle says they controlled the seminal forces of animals, manipulating growth, size, intelligence, playing with the building blocks of life. And when humans get that kind of power, selfishness takes over. They used it to satisfy ambition. They twisted it into experiments. They created giants, dwarfs, monsters, hybrid creatures. And that's when everything fell apart. Because life force energy isn't just biology. It's connected to everything. The air, the water, the elements themselves. When they corrupted it, nature fought back. The earth turned against them. Storms, floods, elemental collapse. The last remnant of Atlantis sank 12,000 years ago. So what was their greatest discovery? It wasn't the floating vehicles, it wasn't the machines, it was the understanding. The Atlanteans knew that consciousness and matter aren't separate. that life force is a technology, that the same energy that grows a plant can power a civilization. Imagine if we could tap into that today, not to build weapons, not to create horrors, but to work with nature instead of against it. No fossil fuels, no mining, no extraction, just cooperation with living systems. That's what they proved was possible. But here is the warning. Atlantis didn't fail because their technology didn't work. They failed because they couldn't handle it morally. They got the science right. They got the ethics wrong. And that's the scariest part. Because in our time right now, we are developing our own civilization-ending technologies. Artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, nanotechnology. And like the Atlanteans, we're making the same mistakes. When they crossed the line, when they used life force for black magic, when they manipulated human genetics, they unleashed forces they couldn't control. The elements themselves rose up against them. And if we're not careful, history may repeat itself. Because every ancient mystery is a warning about the future. We're doing it again. In the next video, I'm going to show you something even more disturbing. How Atlantean consciousness worked. How they could literally change their body shape with their thoughts. And why we lost that ability. But I want to know from you. Do you think this technology was real? And if we found it again, should we use it? Drop your thoughts below.